damage, especially when you've got the cow stacking up on top. Who did? Yeah, the cow did
The
1300
global's
damage.
good.
The cow did 1300 damage. God,
The last pick
man.
Zeus has really paid off here. The vision game. So I would expect a couple deaths up top either way.
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? Is these universal heroes just do so much damage, and Windy obviously had some. There's just a running meme between me and my mates. We call him Lalul for the fun of it. So
Johnny drops the brother patience from the BM unpause from Bay with the Rubik is the most synonymous combo. The man has like 30,000 matches and like 3,000 on Rubik. So I definitely see that kinds of invulnerability basically on the auto attacks. Oh, RFA's getting low up top.
Yes, and she decides to run forward. All of a sudden, the troll comes out and throws some rolling axes. But and so, absolute loser. Anyway, moving forward, let's get straight into this game. We've got Gachi on Ursa, Young Harold on Zeus, Gabala on Axe, Wing Xing on Undying, Raccoon on the Spirit Breaker. Get together and making this game far more interesting. So
they have. Oh wow! If you read the old chat, Reverie with his one beer in has inhibit
so much trouble this entire game, but are they holding? There's two heroes here and a Spirit that might want to deal with Gachi, but no. Down goes the Sand King. Sand King does have buyback. There is that knockback from the Moon Cow. Once
they have like one or two signature spells that are just, I guess, a level above the rest in the patch. Like Tiny Toss with Toss Facet and all these other like little things, and that's where Rubik crappy lane with the rotations, like being 2-0-1, he's not like tanking deaths randomly. It's pretty happy. It's all going to be up to Ken Gachi, like honestly, can he get his shard and can he get in and not die? Last night it was an EU team, but I can't quite remember the name.
Damo, you're in chat. Tell me. Lalul. It was Lalul. Thank you, Damo. Lalul, you legend. Yeah. Lalul, our boy Lalul. Picking the Sand King and making it look hype. Void alive, or brings him to the fight when he needs it. So I like it. I like the Faceless Void ban, but I am more interested to see what the pick is going to be here, because both of these drafts look good, but by the way...
Oh, I've been disconnected.
Oh, looks like they're doing what they can to get on top of Johnny once again. Johnny running as fast as he can, and they do manage to get him. Huncho pops the ult and jumps in, but that damage just doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah. So the Zeus is really good here, gives him a lot of vision. He's obviously, they don't need to pick a mid laner to go in, right? They have the Breaker, they have the Axe, they have the Ursa. They can make a lot of space and then have the Zeus in the back. Just
he has a built-in.
Is that on the auto attack? Or
it is on the auto attack. Yeah, it is on the auto
Okay.
attack. Every time he attacks is 8-second cooldown. And it stacks and stacks and it stacks. It's 2% each time he hits. And it can stack up.
It depends on your mid laner. If your mid laner's okay, another Husker, like that's these last two bans. I think both games have been OD Husker from AU Rejects. They just do not want to get cheesed by Huncho with a 100. Let's have Radiance.
Hold on, Huncho's bought a Radiance. Maybe for the mischance, but I don't think it's going to matter when that bear is just on top of you bullying you. Johnny doing his best to keep his Sand King alive. Buyback from Spirit Breaker. They want to win this game. That's very exciting for me. I'm pretty stoked to see you in a
they're still discussing on Radiant. I think they're still discussing what they're going to do here. Only winching is like obviously winching Aya was guaranteed.
And the bear goes down, so at least they take something. Huge streak goes the way of the Vengeful Spirit. All right. They
have the invis on the Young Herald.
Sand King is chasing that Zeus. He's chase Elite Slayer 60. You know, like I want really really creative names. Oh, okay, let me talk. This is the strongest support in all of Dotty, in the way of bans, picks. Is there like some specific heroes you think are going to come out during the pick phase that we might expect to see across both games? Talk to me.
Right. But yeah, it's super exciting.
I'm worried though, because part of the reason that this Sand King is like seeing play once again after such a long period of just being in the coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20 coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So when there's that, we are having a game. Dagon Axe.
Yeah. This has been a treat to watch so far. Okay, so they will wait for Roche to go bottom and
Zeus
then get the...
alone here. You get hyper cannon, and I...
Oh my god.
I love that name so much, dude. Give me more Tasmanian hyper cannons and less RFA on Rubik, Johnny on Mars, Prey on Spirit Breaker, and Rev on the Troll Warlord. No smoke outs in this early game.
Yeah, these two will play very slow. I'm not gonna say like.
Zeus like trying to get vision for the axe. Morphling's career almost gets scouted by Gabala then. The bear is still better and better and better. We've got Team Dog Cage, Australian Painters, AU Rejects. Like these are some awesome teams this season.
Yeah.
A little bit worried because, to be honest, the draft that came out from Painters, AU Rejects, sorry, last game was worrisome. But this time they've drafted better, and their draft is really coming together this time.
Oh my god.
Where did all that so much damage come from? What? Where's my recap?
Yashakaya and doing this kind of shenanigans, they would be losing these fights, and you can see...
Look out! The bear just jumps on the backline and deals with that Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, no! Reverie caught with his pants, and they're playing with fire here. This is a Morphling.
They're just BMing them at this point. Taunting Reverie in the fountain, knowing his team doesn't
have
my
lord, he gets a bash, but now Gachi's pinned in the corner. Ursa lurking on the side. In comes Axe with a phenomenal call. Down goes the SD and down goes the Tiny immediately. Hancho gets a stun off in return, and doesn't have time to get his ult off. The Morphling doing what he can to put some damage on, but he... Any Tinder baddies? Let's go, bit of all chat. And the game resumes.
We're just hastily approaching the COS, you know? We could be going no faster.
I love that little back into the tower. She gets the scatter shot off so that she can sort of slip away there, but she still is very low, and Rubik has a fair bit of right-click damage. Down goes Gabala to the Rubik's. Is in, Johnny is out, Gachi knows he has to deal with that Shadow Demon and is diving him as hard and fast as he can. Disruption to try and save himself for a second. That BKB is running out, Gachi, and you are deep once again. Tiny, Matic controls the whirling axis, and Gabala is gone. Doesn't even need to pop
not
the
getting
ult.
to the start he wanted this game. He definitely wanted to be doing a bit better than where he is now.
Then as well, towards Dire. That's a lot of XP. That is a whole lot of XP.
Yeah. As well as Young Howard was playing, he is only playing against a Spirit Breaker, a Troll, and a Mars is going to be almost impossible to have a lot of like momentum and actually play well with the win. So I'm honestly not sure why they picked it here, but this kind of does lock in their picks. I also got a comment on OD ban again for AU Rejects. They definitely don't want Hunter George on his final pick, Outlaw Devourer.
What is it with all these like sweaty? See how we go. Is he lagging or has he just got alcohol in his system?
Rev's had a beer. So Reverie has been hitting the beers in the mid game, like between matches and during the break.
He's about to take a whole lot of damage. There he goes.
Went
down.
Well,
one hit.
Yeah, I think he overstayed his welcome there, definitely. And he didn't even deny the bounty room.
They feed the Benji to the bear too.
Sorry, what?
They feed. The Tiny himself, the Tiny himself is going to be struggling with mana into this Invoker, and you mentioned the runes. I've seen really good Invoker players just summon their spirits to go and deny those runes right in front. draft because we've got so many good teams. We've got obviously the Pigs team with Tobbs and Mashed and Andros, Takino. Super scary team with some super scary stand-ins. There's that might
until the Sand King whips out a Blink Dagger, which he is pretty farmed as well. Top 3 net worth, only 300 behind.
Raccoon's having a really cool Morphling's just going to try and port out here. No, cancels his port,
TP.
But that might be
No
a mistake, Reverie, because there are 4 Radiant heroes here and they are looking for you. He does have 4,200 HP and is outside his tier 3 though, so he might just live here.
Took the game and ran away with it.
I mean,
absolutely insane.
Yeah, and we saw end of the game there. I mean, he opens up the high ground with that phenomenal blink and catches 3 heroes, and then he does.
Because you can cast it while stunned, but not while silenced, and Dire has no silences at all, but they have a lot of stuns.
Okay, Axe here. Gabala on the edge there, trying to deal with the Vengeful Spirit.
Reverie escapes in the back
Oh,
line.
looks like Raccoon is going to charge in, and all of a sudden that Vengeful Spirit might be in a little bit of trouble and is dead. Run, Johnny. There's still a full team.
Young Harold just farming up, doing what he's supposed to do. Doesn't matter if he gets like he's not pressured to do anything early, right? He's just got to take his time, farm it up.
What's this tri-lane bottom?
Randomly,
I saw a blue ping from Necro. Necro knows they're in there.
But I don't think he can do anything about it. There's no way. They're not set up on that part of the map.
Venji to the back.
Died bottom. Oh,
yep.
This is not the worst movement around the map. I mean, we're just waiting for... Oh, yeah, you can just see how much like this Tiny does, right? This guy got absolutely jibbed in lane, and he does 1 toss combo, and that's 2/3 of an Invoker's health pool. And that's an 1800 health Invoker.
A little bit better. But we're starting to see some big items come out on the Radiant supports as well. Raccoon is getting real close to his Shadow Blade. He's about 200 gold. No, hey, step up too far, and we're going to put some pain on you.
I gotta give Harold credit though. If there's any player that I would want playing from behind, it would probably be him. He does know how to make miracles happen with borderline. A 1k lead, but they still were up almost 2k just from how well top went and how well mid was going to go with the Invoker pick.
Yep. Necro's still on top of the net worth chart though at this stage.
As well as with the facets, we have like the most notable ones. We actually have an attack IO with the Crits Krieg. We also have the Ricochet 2 on the Snap.
Raccoon, you can dodge last hits, but you cannot dodge that magical damage, and down the Raccoon goes.
So I don't know if you've been seeing it, but every time he arenas and there's a hero inside it, they get a little eye symbol on there.
The Morphling alive, but what's the point of saving your Morphling if it doesn't have any farm? Like if it's not getting back into these games. Huge performance from Prey.
Okay. Oh no, sorry, Gaichi's on the... Wait, what? Gaichi's on the Necro? What position are they playing?
Raccoon picks up the Windy. Okay, look at this mess.
Really
okay.
rough.
Okay. Alright, well...
Yes, so the Rubik's is going to be banned, the IO is going to be banned, and the Break is going to be banned.
So if they ban those 3 heroes, let's say they get rid of those 3...
100% you are 100% going to get, but because he opted not to go the Blink Dagger, he just doesn't. Yeah. And it doesn't impact Ubi at all, wowee.
Another charge out on Johnny. With him, swap in onto Gabala. They decide to try and deal with the axe first. Johnny trying to keep Ursa busy. But Gabala has decided he's just going to play forward as Gachi is running to that Shadow Demon, and the Shadow Demon is dead without buyback. Johnny doing what he can to fight this. So, alright. Well, like, let's take a second to just calm down. Think for a second. You're AU rejects. You come out with this oddball draft. It's just so much heal, especially with the new facets. Oh my god, they decided to charge in onto Gabala. Gabala might be out of position here. Gets off the scatter shot, but no, down she goes.
Did his own reflexes and is now unable to get the strength morph off from the axe, and that's why he's been dying this like
yeah, me too.
times.
That's why I always get dunked as Morphling as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
a little bit tipped.
Running, axe wants the dunk.
They got him.
Oh
no, he
my
doesn't.
god! Rampage to that axe. Oh my god, that's Ruse doing everything he can to get up into its fountain, and
God.
it is not going to make it.
But he has a Maelstrom, so he can actually get his farm up. And the little Shredder with Ricochet 2 does so much damage.
Oh,
Cannot understate
Spirit Breaker ult onto Io. Io's looking to tether. No.
Battlefield as well, yeah. Notice how the Tiny's opted to start with the Null Talisman as well really early, just because he needs the mana income. He just doesn't. He's not going to get these runes. Like the Breaker will just take both Water runes. They're both incredibly unique and they both have a good flavor to them. Like obviously attack or defense, right?
Yeah.
There's no ambiguity to it. They're both insanely good when you want them. You know what I mean? At a game.
Maybe they thought they could play into it. I watched your game a couple of days ago where you decided to just take the gyro into the Shadow Fiend. You didn't seem to care too much about it. Maybe they don't respect it either.
And the spell lamp. Oh my god. 65% movement speed as damage. What the hell is that?
Isn't Tiny supposed to be one of the thickest heroes this meta? Even as a support? Pros have begged this hero to be removed from the game because it is just so strong. And often in these comp scenes you don't see as much attention on it, but it gets a lot of attention in the pro scene. So they lock the IO.
Needs to get the Galepnia early, and he never made it to 4-star. That's just how bad of a game he had, unfortunately. And I honestly do think this game would be completely different if top lane actually went well for the AU rejects.
Now he gets tossed up in front of the tower and there's a whole lot of damage coming out, but he's fast enough to click onto the creep to stop the tower aggro. Big screen comes out and the potion saves him. Well played.
Wowie.
Big old juicy.
Punch Dog George to get in. When he has his phase blink is when you'll see a lot more movements actually happen.
And he's coming up on his 6.
He was trying to do there.
In comes the charge from behind the tower, but she gets a perfect little stun on top of him and a whole bunch of damage, and Johnny goes down. There is a bear lurking on the sidelines. No, it's Gubala, once again, jumping on those supports on the back line. Gubala having a phenomenal game, this game. Reverie on the low ground, I'm not sure you should be there, mate. I think you should be nice and safe behind those tier 3s. They do scout him on vision. Reverie's thinking about maybe making a play here.
Spirit Breaker could just be the hero of this series. Oh my god. That's level 18 on Axe now. That's a 475 damage call.
And 21 coats of blood. They're looking for Morphling. And that's the thing, is this magical damage that's coming out from Radiant is enormous, right? Like it's a lot of magical damage. But that's the thing with magical damage, is it does eventually start to drop off. Once you start to see Pipes, Eternal Shroud. Rambe on this Spirit Breaker, just unbelievable performance. It just felt like it was everywhere. 63 Culling Blade stacks. Or Coat of Blood, I think it's called now.
Continue to play. If the Sand King ever gets to Ags, he has Shivas already. Yeah, they're going to have so much trouble playing into it. They only have one BKB across their entire team. Obviously, Zeus is never going to buy it, but they need more players to be able to get. Although the one placed by Tiny is less likely to get clipped by a sentry, that goes for the high ground.
Double damage top, and Hancho is heading for it.
Very meta ward.
But we do have answers for the Morphling, right? We talked about Axe Blink. Axe Blink is one of the hardest counters, but hey, just to sidestep once more towards Shadow Demon, one of my favorite heroes.
900 during a big fight. The Aghanim's aura also gets really bigger, so Heartstopper aura's only got like an 840 radius, and that just builds up to Yang's favor. Because I will say, Radiant's buying a couple silly items, if you ask me. Like the Dagon, been practical. This axe needs a BKB Shiva's refresher. He needs these types of items to
try and get some damage onto you as well. Missed the axe call because of the swap. Beautiful play there from Johnny, and down goes the cow. Okay, they're in action. If they eliminate this cow, they might actually be able to play this fight. Vengeful is running, but the Shadow Demon goes down to the Dagon and the dunk. They know axe is bottom. Do they try something?
They do have vision on Dire. Okay, goes for
looks like
that you can work like to actually still have a game no matter what. And this is also a really well-balanced hero to set up for the last pick, where I'm sure Hunter...
Another huge Mars ult, and that IO is just gone! Down goes Gabala as well. Troll on the edge, wants to go in on the Tiny, but Tiny gets the blink off. Now that Troll ult is down, he is still forced to just run at that...
Winching, possibly. And he is now called a little rat. This could be good. This could be good. Reverie is also a bit tipsy, potentially. He could be a lightweight.
Let's...
Brawlhalla, my dreams are answered.
This is what we want to see. This is proper Dota. It's a slobber knocker.
Oh my God,
the only
yeah.
downside is
Hilarious.
trying to keep the camera in the right place at the right time, because there's so much action going on. Speaking
player, you need your science, you need your RFA, you need the man who can really cook with Rubik, and you need good steals. So when you look at like a lot of the meta heroes,
look at that Snapfire, the IO's here, decides against it. I think he makes the right play there.
Gonna be no Wisdom Rune steals today. Or this guy's heroes, and he's just RFA just laying down the law with this Rubik. Insane. That's definitely getting banned. You're not gonna see that game here.
I mean, it's a Grandmaster hero. These comfort picks, man. They do what they do.
Yeah, it's just...
Troll has his 6 and Gabala is a little bit far forward. The power shot misses, but the Troll is still on top of Gabala. They bring all the boys once again. The stun comes out. Shackle to try and keep that Troll off of him, but it doesn't really hold off of his Zags. I see RFA's elected to go for the Aether Lens. I like the first item Aether Lens on the Shadow Demon as well. Just allows you to play the fights from the back line. Rubik. A little bit of extra mana regen for the rest of the game. He'll love that.
Yeah,
okay, Troll.
As these fights keep going, the Dire just seem to be getting so much more out of them than the Radiant. Every fight that Dire wins is like a 3...
Dunk, and now his dunk is on cooldown, and Reverie's sort of a little bit hungry. Johnny's coming with a swap, and can they find someone? The Glimmer Cape comes out of the axe, so they don't quite spot him. Wave of Terror. Okay. Well, this high ground looks a little bit easier for Team Radiant. They are thinking about it.
Just like...
Oh my god, that is a phenomenal flag. It just rubs me the right way, dude, seeing Jason hanging from a flag like that. Oh, look at the other flag as well. I'm joking. Okay, let's get into this. So, tell me a little bit about these teams. What can we expect to see?
George does have the Eternal Shroud now, but I don't know.
There's a bear in the tree here, guys. There's a bear, and it wants you. It's lurking. Ooh, big nuke comes out from the Zeus, and the bear is immediately...
Game squad is built up from the lanes.
You know, I'm not surprised that Dai was caught off guard by that play, because it shocked me so hard I couldn't get my words out to just see...
Is really well, and that's how he's going to try and shine, right?
Okay,
again, I've never seen much of like the Raccoon Spirit Breaker here, but it's gonna be really, really rough to enable fire, which means as he levels up Little Shredder, he will be taking all the Little Shredder talents, and he'll be buying like a Maelstrom or a Gleipnir of some description, getting all these procs out. Tiny did take the crash landing, so he'll be pumping the toss.
Yeah, some Herald plays. I want to see them running at each other before 30 seconds, before the bell, diving at the towers. That real bop style gameplay. Oh, this IO. The IO gank is here, and then we see the tiny toss, and that is an enormous amount of damage. They try for the beach ball play. It doesn't really play off. The troll ult is out. Can he get the root? No. And I feel like we see more of these. Monkey goes, good to see Monkey. It looks like Slaughter Gang are focusing some real meta heroes rather than target banning, at least from what I can understand.
Help him, he's just dying to magical damage from the cow. Just another fighter. I feel like this cow could be second highest damage.
The initiation here from a Rejects is pretty scary. You've got Axe Call, Spirit Breaker, but then he can't save his core, who gets caught a few seconds later. So I'd like to see it.
Hear me out.
Yep, go ahead.
If this game goes another 10 minutes, it could start to swing back towards Slaughter.
But she has so much damage and so much harass for the first few minutes of the game, and we're seeing that applied here onto that troll. He's feeling it.
Especially just putting 1 point in win run and then just trading 3 seconds.
Magnetize, a stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling.
Think twice about picking this IO. I would expect they're going to think twice about picking the Necro. The IO will likely get banned by Dire next game. Like, it did so much work for them. I think the Tiny might get let through, because just showing that even if he has such a bad lane, that he's unable to recover and actually, like, he did a lot of work, right? You look at his net worth and you think about how much impact he had during those, not in the arena. It's going to be really hard for him to get anything done. And you have to notice, I don't think the spirits actually give much vision anymore. I know they only give vision when they explode, and I don't think it's a...
Since I've seen anything like that. Let's go!
Charge onto Johnny top. Cal just might be a little bit short on the damage.
Pouring their way back into it.
There's still 20k in the hole, but it's possible, you know? They scout out the vision using the Zeus, so like...
Oh, charge through onto Johnny.
The banner on bottom can be broken fundamentally sometimes, but the Aghanims is always like, it's a known quantity, right? It's like a 7,000 gold item, just about. Or is it 60? Sorry,
42 for a while now, but it is allowing him to get this passive gold, right? We see this in the game with like illusion heroes, like your fish. Why can't I remember it? I also noticed immediately that they've decided to ban out the Storm. Obviously, Storm IO is a combo as well, so they didn't elect to get rid of that. Yeah.
So what's not going to get Huskoed here.
So are you Rejects looking for a pod?
This is a Midas Spirit Breaker as well. We haven't commented on it yet, but because of the Spirit Breaker facet, you can just see how much they're winning out on EXP on Dire, even with all
this troll. He's gonna bump into Snap if she's not careful. No, yeah, Battle Fury on troll. He's got his Blade of Alacrity. How do you like these timings? Do you think he's having an alright? Fat Bear underneath their tier 3, but they sort of have enough to deal with him. He pops his BKB and just wants to pour it out of there, but now Zeus and Win Xing need to be careful because the rest of the team is going to be running after them. No vision.
But he's
Axe lurking on the side. Slaughter Gang's side besides that Rubik at this stage.
It does give 12 armor, do not forget. 12 armor and magic resist is ballistic. Io is really, really strong, and he's probably one of the heroes facets I like the most. No way.